ready to rock and roll. The first podcast of 2023. Welcome everybody in. My name is Matt McCall. Joining me this afternoon, it's Matt and P. May bringing it to you, and the universal joint himself, Mr. Ryan Warhola.
Back again.
He's not even a guest anymore.
Getting to pretty much be a host at this point. So we're bringing it in, guys, for the first one of the year. What a ride it's been, man. We started the show last year, and it's kind of taken off. It's gotten to be something that we all enjoy getting to get together on and do, and kind of make a little get together out of it. I know you guys have enjoyed it as much as I have. It's been fun, man, and I'm looking forward to where it's gonna go in the future. And
I think it's a great. I called Ryan last minute. Ryan, you want to do a podcast? Yes. Matt, you cooked us T-bone steaks, asparagus, macaroni and cheese. Now we're drinking a $100 bottle of whiskey, and it's like, damn.
Yeah.
On a school night.
On a school night.
Yeah.
Everybody's got to go to school in the morning.
This is our excuse to get it going, man. Get us something. Get us a nice glass of bourbon and a good meal in.
So me and Matt, who usually we're on the podcast, we weren't on it last time. Tanner and Mitch held it down. They did the one with Davey, Sorry Mom, and so we haven't been on here since before the new year. That was the crane hunt. So
yeah, this will be our first one. And before we get started, just real quick, want to give a shout out to all you guys and tell you guys thank you so much. If you've made it this far and you're a listener of the show and you follow us on our social media, you guys keep up. Man, from the bottom of our hearts, we really appreciate it, and we're only going to go up from here. So thank you all so much. Hope that y'all stick with us throughout the next year and the years to come. So we'll keep bringing it, man. It's only going to get better from here.
Hell yeah. And figured, Ryan, you had a good New Year.
Yeah, it was wonderful.
I mean, go ahead and tell them the spread that you laid out, and then just kept sending us photos of.
Oh yeah, the seafood bowl. Yeah, so I got some shrimp, some snow crabs, a few lobster tails, and some mussels. Then boiled them in crawfish seasoning like you boil crawfish. And let me tell you, I don't really care to do crawfish anymore.
I just know, God damn it, man, that sounds so good.
It was honestly, it wasn't any more expensive than boiling a couple sacks of crawfish.
Yeah, probably cheaper, honestly.
Yeah, honestly.
Oh, well, right now.
Yeah,
Like,
right now for sure. But all together, yeah. I mean,
a sack of crawfish right now, which they just now started repicking up. We had a freeze, since.
Yeah, it was Christmas Eve.
Yeah,
Christmas Eve.
I can tell you what a sack costs. $5.85 a pound right now.
And they're going to be.
Yeah, they're going to be peanuts, and half of them are going to be dead.
Yeah.
Peelers and molten crawfish. And
Not great. Matt used to work on a crawfish farm.
Oh, man, let me tell you. It's not the cleanest job I've ever had.
Yeah,
I bet you Mike Rose done an episode on dirty jobs of somebody farming crawfish somewhere.
Probably has. I think I've seen
Jamie?
Yeah.
Jamie.
Whichever one of y'all is going to be
I
our
cannot
Jamie.
wait till we can have a Jamie.
Oh, man. Whichever one of you guys in the comment section is going to be our Jamie, check that out for us.
There's
We'll
somebody
be
with an
looking for
iPad like. Yes, Micro has. Yeah. Also, he sings a fantastic version of "You're a Mean One, Mr. Grinch."
Does he now?
Yes, if you did not know that, he does.
Oh,
don't call me Jamie. So this year, going forward, we're gonna be hitting a lot more expos and shows, and not just the Bayou Dragons, but Ryan. We're gonna get into that. But the last podcast he was on, we talked about him purchasing Snapper Slapper lures. That's going great from what you've been telling me, and he's going to start doing expos and shit also. So you get to come around, meet us, meet Ryan, and we have one coming up pretty soon we'll get into. But we're going to do more shows. We're going to keep hammering out the podcast. I would like to get to where we're doing – we're pretty consistent with almost one every 10 days.
Yeah, I think we can get one a week. And then I'd also like to, do some new and cool stuff every episode where we open it up and maybe have like a mailbag or something like that where people send some stuff in. We'll kind of
I like the idea that me and you sit here and just answer the questions, which some of them are scary. There is some scary fucking questions.
The dangerous thing about us doing that is that we don't censor a lot of things. So somebody's gonna ask us a question that's gonna be a real touchy subject, and we're gonna hit
we'll
it
have
head
to
on.
cull through some, or this if we're gonna go impromptu, we have to like on the fly be like, okay, I'm not talking about that.
We got to make sure we don't get canceled.
Like, we
but there's
can't-
gonna be some tough ones. We
can't talk about the shit Ryan Warhola post on. You know,
I like to be in Instagram jail every now and then.
hey, it's fine, man. We're gonna keep posting. It's gonna piss people off, and I
Yeah.
love it. I still actually your picture, hands down, was our most liked photo
Yeah.
for 2022.
That big one,
Damn straight.
The big one.
the big one.
I still go back and read through those comments every now and again.
You know.
I think it's still getting traffic too.
Yeah.
It does.
I think
Like
people still go on
every
and comment on that.
every few days, I'll open up Instagram. That's usually I post first thing in the morning, and I'll look just to see if anybody said anything, and there'll be likes, of your posts, and then you're still. That's been 2 months. It's still.
It's been a minute for sure.
It says 1 and 3,600 and something other people like this photo, and I'm like, you should read the comments.
Yeah.
But anyway, so Ryan, it was basically like a week ago. Ryan was just like, hey, man, Houston Boat Show, January 23rd through the 29th.
Yeah.
So
The expo opens the 25th. So it'll be 25th to the 29th for
25th
the public.
through-
Yeah.
Okay, 25th through the 29th at the NRG Stadium, right?
Yep. At NRG Center right there next to the stadium.
Hey, look at that. We've already done a show there. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
know the lay of the land.
We do know the lay of the land. So, NRG Stadium, 25th to 29th, we're going to be there doing our normal thing. But then directly right next to us, if you want to come meet the infamous Ryan Warhola,
Here he is.
he will be selling snapper slapper lures and all
Have-
kinds of shit.
You're gonna have some swag. You're gonna have some boat rulers and all kinds of cool stuff to sell
Hey,
there.
man, I
so.
saw those too. He sent me a photo of them. They're pretty badass.
Yeah, we might need to get some Bayou Dragon.
I can hook you up.
I know you can.
And I know last time, earlier this year when we were out there at NRG doing a show, I know some of you guys came out there and saw us, and listeners of the show, followers of the pages, and we'll be out there again. Y'all come check us out. Come hang out for a little while and meet Captain Ryan Warhola.
Yeah, hell, I had some fandom out there at this show too. After my first podcast, I
Yeah.
met a couple people that recognized me. I was like, oh, okay.
I'm honestly curious because this is a little bit different than what we've done. Like the Hunting Expo, yeah, people know it, but like the boat show, and we're gonna bring some fishing stuff. We're gonna have some fishing shirts. We're gonna have baits and all kinds of shit also to sell. But like that's more geared towards your stuff and people selling. But there's some really boats. People are selling boats and shit.
I mean, there's gonna be boats. There's actually a car show side of it too. But I mean, you gotta think the guys who are coming to the boat show are outdoorsmen.
Yeah.
Typically in Texas, most of your outdoorsmen, if they hunt or if they fish, they hunt,
Yeah.
or vice versa. You know,
I'm just wondering if we're gonna have any traction from some of our some of these things we've gone to. We've had some like trashy, and I'm saying trashy in the best way. I'm talking like some Bayou Dragons, people that we drink beer with.
Oh, you mean people like us?
Yeah, people like us show up.
So,
I'm just wondering how many people like us are actually gonna show up.
Sure, they'll be there.
Well, hey, I'm gonna in every podcast till then. Come on.
Yeah, I mean, and it's not just saltwater stuff too. I mean, they're gonna have bass boats and everything else. So those freshwater guys, which is more y'all's kind of wheelhouse.
Well, I'm gonna be selling freshwater baits there. So
for sure.
the Bayou Dragon baits.
D baits, baby.
They work. My son loves them.
Hey, I'll tell you what, man, that was super cool. I don't know if we told you about this. A guy came to me in Dallas. I sold him some baits. He sent us a video, and he was, he's pond hopping. This guy just fishes ponds and bass fishes around his place, and he caught his personal best on a Bayou Dragon bait, and he videoed it and everything, pulled it out of the water, freaking out. He's like, Bayou Dragons, baby.
That's awesome.
It was sick.
That's
man.
awesome.
Fuck yeah.
He was jacked. And he messaged, he's like, man, I just bought these from you like last week, and I just caught my personal best on them.
Yeah, I actually reached out and asked for some pictures for my backdrop for the show, for the booth, and just some random people that I knew that, fished with snap slappers in the past, prior to me purchasing the company. And I didn't realize that a state record snapper was caught on Snapper Slapper.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Where at?
It's out of Galveston.
Oh, the Texas State record is off of Snapper Slapper?
So, it's a lady named Tracy Allred caught it, and it's 39 something like pounds.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
It's a fucking behemoth.
And I don't know, it was a catch and release
Behemoth.
deal, so I don't know exactly if it's like the state record, but it's listed. She had a plaque, has the mount and everything. It was pretty cool to see.
Awesome.
Yeah, really neat to see. And then we've actually caught some since I have purchased it, and I've kind of tweaked the lures a little bit too, to a little bit of history. I've been involved with Snapper Slapper since 2004. I started off as a pro staffer with them and kind of grew with the company as it went. And since purchasing the company and talking to the previous owners, we kind of tweaked the baits to a way now that as far as hookup ratio and everything gets a little bit better. So I've been testing them, and this year we actually caught some of our personal best snapper testing the new variation. So
When you hear somebody say hookup ratio, trust them, they know what they're doing.
Yeah. I've never
I've never used the words hookup ratio.
Yeah.
I'll tell you that. I've
not
been fishing.
and not in fishing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm the epitome of the weekend warrior. You know, I do it for fun, but you would never see those two words come together in my vocabulary.
we just wanted to make sure we're putting out the best offshore
Yeah.
jig in the market. And the one thing that I was trying to do is make the most robust jig too, because you don't only just catch snapper on them, you catch amberjack, you catch everything else on them.
You catch shark.
During testing with these new variations, version 3 basically is what they are. I took a 100-pound braid, took basically a broomstick rod, and put the drag on max, like 80 pounds of drag, and I couldn't bend them out. I was trying to bend the hooks out. I was trying to break the lure, couldn't do it. So I'm pretty happy and excited about this new variation. We're actually going to release them at the boat show. So.
Oh, fuck yeah. That's also one thing why I'm glad I got right next to you, and hopefully we can do multiple shows like that this year where we can like feed off each other. Mm-hmm. It's like the people that know who we are that don't know about Snapper Slapper be like, yeah, but do you offshore fish any?
Yeah.
Because you don't have to just catch snapper.
No.
You can catch that. You can catch redfish on that motherfucker.
Oh, man. Some of the, I know some of these redfish tournament guys, I run the circuit every now and then. I try to moonlight and do something in it. And a lot of those guys love that 1 ounce Snapper Slapper because they can take it when those redfish are schooling in the bay, and they don't have to get right up on them because they can sling that sun down a mile.
Hum it.
And that's what they use to catch those schooling reds.
Yeah. I'm not as in tune as it would. I mean, you and Doug got me into it years ago now, but like I go with y'all, and that's what we've way before you even thought about purchasing it.
Yep.
It's always been like when we're snapper fishing or ling fishing or trying to catch a random rogue mahi or doing something, any kind of offshore. It's like there's always a Snapper Slapper lure on a rod.
Yeah, ready to go.
Like even if we're marlin fishing, there's a rod that's just over there with a Snapper Slapper that's just like, oh, if something fucks up, they're about to find out.
Yeah. I mean, we actually
use what you own. That's why I'm trying to like.
Yeah, I mean, that's the reason I wanted, when the opportunity came to buy it, I was like, we got to do this. It has to happen.
A lot of people don't go through with what they have. Like, they don't use it. They just have it, sell it, whatever.
Yeah. No, we use it.
Oh, yeah.
We actually, during the shootout, we won first place mahi. Live baiting for marlin. I look over. Big school of mahi comes in. Snapper Slapper's rigged up, ready to go. Hum it out there. Jerk it twice. Boom, we're on. First place mahi.
Was it on that spinning rod?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
The big spinning rod?
Oh, yeah.
Kidding?
Yeah.
Yeah, the one.
The same one that was probably still rigged.
Yeah, probably
I've witnessed that spinning rod, man.
I jumped up front with Ryan, and he's just humming that sumbitch and just ripping it. He had him on for a second. That was a big fucking mahi.
Yeah.
That was on our marlin trip. And now, I'm going to look back at my phone because what you said the other day was hilarious in our group message. It's now getting very close. We've mentioned before Wahoo season, but like it's like the beginning. It's Wahoo season.
It's Wahoo season. They're there. The tournament started. People, I'm sure people are going to go tomorrow. I mean, the weather's getting right, so there's going to be people going tomorrow. I would venture to say.
I wish we did.
Why are you here?
Man, work before pleasure right now. When you own a couple companies now, and run a couple companies, you gotta pay to play. And I got meetings I couldn't cancel, so I'm here with y'all tonight. Otherwise, I'd be heading south right now.
I was really, whenever you said, "Do you work tomorrow?" I was like,
I gotta.
If I was, dude, I was so just like, I just got new hours for this year. If he says he's going offshore tomorrow, because I told you I had work, but if you'd been like, okay, well, I'm gonna go, I'd been like, well,
Yeah.
But then when you said you had work,
sick tomorrow.
Oh fuck it.
Yeah, it'll be good too. That moon's full. They'll be chewing.
I cannot remember what you said exactly. Oh, here it is right here. I'm the scariest motherfucker anyone has ever wahoo fished against, and that's no bullshit. And I will honestly say that is a true fact. I've wahoo fished with you many a times, and you do not fuck around.
No.
I saw that text message. I got a good grin out of that one.
I got them figured out. I mean, I know their phone number. I know their zip code. I know their address.
The funny thing is that I've been around you for a little while now, and I've only ever heard you say it like once or twice. I've heard it more from other people.
Yeah.
That you're a phenomenal wahoo fisherman.
And I'm not trying to suck your penis right now, but like y'all's, the boat on the Wrapped Up, that is a dangerous fucking combo between you and Robert.
Mm-hmm.
You have Robert who knows blue marlin like the back of his fucking ass.
Yep.
And then you on the wahoo. So it's like which one's going to bite?
Yeah.
If one of them's not, we'll go catch the other one. And if it, because honestly, that's kind of how it is. Like if it's not right for marlin, you're good chance you can go catch a wahoo.
You know, and the reason I even said that, and I don't even think I told y'all this, we didn't put Wrapped Up in the tournament this year for wahoo.
You would just put the contender.
I'm just gonna put.
Dude, that's what's cocky.
I just put my 25-foot contender in there, and then I can't tell you. I must have had 20 phone calls. People asking me, "Y'all aren't fishing? Y'all aren't fishing?" No, I'm fishing. I'm fishing my 25-foot boat. Oh man, whew, thank God. You know, and I'm like, what do you mean?
Well, that's more dangerous. That's more dangerous.
It is.
Honestly, people don't know that. People think you have to have this big ass. You were the most dangerous in that Freeman.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
like
mobility is my game when it comes to wahoo.
Because we were when I was fishing, we were fishing the wahoo tournament, but I was fishing with Brandon on the Chase this, and you were on your Freeman, and we were doing our thing, but like, and we were catching some wahoo, but you were just going so much, like you're doing circles around us.
Yeah,
literally, like physically doing circles around.
Once I find them, I stay right on their heads.
Like I was just like, it was you, us, and there was another boat, and they were just kind of just pissing the wind over there. Yeah. But
I had one day last in the Freeman. So the season before last, I didn't run the boat obviously last year very much. I mean, I ran a little bit, but I kind of worked the cockpit more than anything on Wrapped Up. Kind of let Robert, that's his baby. Yeah. That's what he's paid to do. So let him run that boat. But in Bad Cat, myself, Doug, Tyler, and a couple other people, I think there's 5 of us in the boat. We had one day from daylight till dark, we caught 142 wahoo. And I don't know if you ever try to release wahoo, but that is the most sketchiest shit in the world because they have a lot of teeth and you have a lot of hooks and yeah.
Well, no, we've always we bat them, throw them in the cooler.
Yeah,
that's one of the. Just noting this, not cutting you off. Wahoo is some of the best fish you will ever eat.
Yes, no doubt, hands down. You can't beat it.
Yeah, wahoo, and you might laugh at me, but that golden tile fish.
Yeah, golden tile is good.
It's so I know it's a bottom feeder.
I don't even know what that is.
Fuck, it's so good.
So, I think you caught your first one with me, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. No, I've caught all my first everything with you.
Yeah. Like I think if I was gonna do 2, it would be sorry guys, I'm worried about work calls still. No,
you're
part of owning the company. If I was gonna pick my top 2, it would be wahoo number 1 and probably swordfish number 2.
Dude,
tuna 3.
Yeah.
Tuna gets the name, but it's not, in my opinion, not the best.
No, it's not in mine. I would say wahoo, golden tile right up there. Probably wahoo first, golden tile, swordfish, fantastic. Just
I want to say this too, man. I've had tuna my whole life, but it's tuna out the store, man. I think and I would venture to say with any of these fish that we're talking about, man, having them fresh caught puts them in a whole different category than you're gonna get anywhere else you can get them.
Were you at the shop when I did that sashimi plate with them at the shop, or was it just Mitch and Tanner?
But I did have some sashimi the last time we went out
on the boat. Yeah,
it was God.
Ryan brought me a fresh pack,
and
I brought it straight to the shop. We're doing we had a big set of orders that day. We had 80 or 90 orders to do, and I was like, I'm gonna go in and prep us some lunch, and that was I took some of that fresh, it was just blackfin that you brought me, but I like sliced it up, had it perfect, had a squiggle of sriracha all the way around it, made a honey soy sauce that you could dip it in. And Mitch and Tanner were just
one after another.
oh, bro.
I think I was there. You brought it in the house.
Yes.
Served it on the island. Yeah, I was there.
Yes.
That
Everybody was just
really
eating that.
good.
Even Kara was like, she's like, I don't like stuff that's real fishy. I was just like, just eat this. You'll enjoy it.
Yeah, that's the best when you put people onto stuff and they're like, I don't know about this, and you serve it to them, they're like, man, that's good.
When it comes to sashimi, I'll tell you one that's a sleeper that nobody really thinks of is red snapper.
Oh, dude, no, that is, you know who makes and fantastic, like just the way he preps it, everything, John West.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
Dude, and he made a ceviche dip when we were in Venice, Louisiana a few years back, and he was like, he's in the kitchen just cutting up habaneros. He's doing fresh tomatoes, onions, and then he has like Julio's chips he brought with them. I was like, where'd you even pull those out of? You can't buy those in Venice. He's like, he brought Julio's just for that, and I was like, oh my God.
The story of how Johnny West, I call him Johnny West came to be in this whole group in this area is originated with me. I don't know if you know this or not, but he just moved here from Florida. He was going to Texas A&M. He came down this area, and he just got a job down here after he graduated A&M. And I'm on the Walter Humphrey Pier on Pleasure Island humming tandem jigs at trout one night, and he comes walking up, and he's got his spinning reel. It's a typical Florida deal. And he's like, hey, man, can I stand by you and fish? And that's how I met John West. Just fishing on the pier. Hey, buddy. Yeah.
Like,
hey. Way back in the day, I was probably fresh out of high school, no boat, just wanting to go catch a trout.
Yeah, and John, dude, God, I haven't heard it so long. Just the, hey, man.
Hey, man.
Hey, man.
I saw him the other night at Tia's. Exactly. Hey, man.
Dude, and that's a fishing son of a bitch, too.
Yeah,
that's
he
a
is.
fly fishing.
Oh, yeah. He's the reason I got my skiff. Is John West. That's the reason I bought a Sabine skiff. Is I want to get into fly fishing. I grew up fly fishing.
Oh, the one, that black one that we fished out of?
No, I got a new one. Yeah, I got a new one. I haven't even put it in the water yet. I picked it up right before Christmas.
No, nice. Okay, I can't wait to get out on that.
And no, man, I got it, and I want to get back into fly fishing for redfish and doing all that like I did when I was a kid. So that's kind of my goal this 2023.
Dude, I want to learn so bad, and I have all the gear. I've been accumulating the gear. I just haven't taken the time because I'm either bass fishing, and I'm fishing, Lew's or Abu Garcia, whatever, and then I'm saltwater with y'all, and I'm fishing basically the same thing unless we're offshore. But like I have 2 rods rigged out all the way for fly, and I just never done it.
Yeah,
I just need to I could if you gave me one right now, I would look like Ned the Reader leading the school of blind. And
I'm by no means trying to sound cocky, but I am bored to death with the traditional trout red fishing, and I just want to. It's kind of like going from rifle hunting to bow hunting. Yeah, I kind of want to just transition to something that's more challenging. So
yeah, and that a lot of people do that, like go from rifle, like the deer hunting aspect, going from rifle hunting to iron sights, and then from iron sights to bow, from compound bow to.
Yeah,
I'd venture to say that everybody throughout the course of their life is doing that. You're looking for the next good challenge. You're looking for the next new experience. And, I mean, that's what I do. That's what we do.
Yeah. That's what I did with bass fishing.
You do one thing, and, it's fun and it's great. But I've always looked at people who can do one thing their entire life. And, I mean, good for them that they're enjoying it, but that's not for me. I want to continue to move and be dynamic and to find new challenges, new experiences, and, just expand on what I've already done.
Yeah.
Yeah. With bass fishing, I went from, just fishing your normal open face to now I'm throwing some light tackle spinning rods with like 8-pound tests.
Yeah.
Like flipping beds, trying to catch, 5, 6, 7-pound bass on that. And it's like, this thing is more than likely going to fuck me up, but if I catch it, it's going to be that is what I'm doing.
Yeah, that's cool.
Would be not the same, but the closest thing to like fly fishing, which I need to practice. I just need to go out there in the lake and start practicing on bass.
Kind of hoping it's like riding a bike, because I used to be able to whip a fly rod, and now I haven't done it in so long.
Oh, to me, just like jacking off, man.
Yeah.
You ain't done it in a couple of days. You just pick it right back up.
Yeah, true.
It almost just appears in your hand.
It just happens.
It just happens. Damn it.
Shit.
It just happens, man. No, I always wanted to be that guy in that picture, different type of fly fishing, but standing out there in the river, and just the wilderness all around and just nobody.
Oh, well, I think the cockiest is like those people in Florida that are kayak flying for like sailfish.
Oh, dude, yeah.
Dude,
that's
I'm like,
crazy.
what? How?
Yeah, and tarpons.
How?
And,
Insane.
Yes,
Yeah.
like fish bigger than the boat
Yeah.
they're in, and like you watch them, and like once they get them and do their thing, I don't know none of the terminology of fly fishing at all, but it's like, dude, that thing has to be dragging you all around the fucking bay.
And the sailfish thing's crazy to me. Like, sailfish on the fly out of wrapped up would be so simple. Tease them up, do like we do when we're dink baiting, tease them up, flip them to fly. It's just like flipping them the naked ballyhoo, right? But doing it on a kayak, like how are you even finding the fish to even to cast at?
Don't know.
You just sitting there waiting for them to swim by you?
And people do it every day.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Like I've seen it. It's like got a 45, 50-pound sail on a fly on a 15-foot kayak. I'm like, that dude is a man. I wish I could do that.
I wonder if they're like tied in, like they got to be local. They're locals.
Oh, absolutely.
So, they know somebody, and they're like, hey, we've been spotting these fish out here.
Yeah.
We've got them marked over here. This is what they've been doing.
Well, if
you
you
just
never
go out there and roll the dice, maybe.
If you ever looked at John West's, just go look at John West with red fishing, and that son of a bitch is. Just every video he posts on Instagram is just flying reds, and like he just throws it perfect, and he'll sit there for a second and just. Whoop.
It's crazy.
Like he makes it look easy.
Oh yeah.
And one of the coolest things that he's done that I've seen was that's fine. Dude, we can play footsies. He took how are we looking? Okay. This ain't a long story. I saw a post like a year ago. He had combined age of two fishermen or a couple was 187 years.
Wow.
It was like both 90-something-year-old
Out
couple
there slinging fly rods
and catching reds.
Wow,
And both
that's
of them are holding up beautiful redfish. I'm like, that has to be like an experience like no other.
Oh,
like
dude.
you're talking about first and all this shit, but talk about
Oh yeah.
potentially last.
Yeah.
When you're 97 years old and like 93.
I think every breath you take potentially could be
yeah.
last.
Like for me right now, it's honestly kind of a chore, but like there's no way I'm living to 90.
Yeah.
I am too dumb.
Yeah,
But
I hope you get to round that perspective change when you get to a point where you're like, oh man, life is great. You might die before you're 40, dude.
Yeah, no, there's
Dude.
definitely a good chance, and that's fine. As long as I get to go on the wrapped up and shit a couple more times, I'm literally complete.
Oh,
I'm fine. But that was super cool when I saw that. He's like, he said I took out 180 something years
Wow.
of like, and it was two people, and I'm
That's
like,
wild, man.
damn, catching flies in fucking Sabine.
Mm.
So I haven't seen him in a long. I need to.
Man, he
follow
was
him.
at Tia's the other day, walking to the bar to pick up a to-go order when the kids were sick, and there's Johnny West sitting at the bar.
Guaranteed he's wearing flip flops.
He wasn't. He was wearing blue jeans and cowboy boots, drinking a sweet tea.
Oh, he's probably just got off work.
Yeah.
There's no way that dude has sex in flip flops. Like
Absolutely.
I've never seen him not in flip flops, except unless he can't. Like he came from work one time. We went out. We on your old boat, the Sailfish.
Yeah.
And he came from work and was like wearing something and like changed real quick, and he was wearing his flip flops. It was like, John, like it's cold. Like that was like one of those days.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It was that one the second trip I ever went on with you, and it was freezing ass cold.
Yep.
And John's out there in flip flops. I'm like, I'm wearing shrimping boots.
Yeah.
Like fuck that, dude. That was beautiful. I hope that was on camera.
Yeah, I guarantee you it was. Good lord.
Oh, bro, he had a
I
spit.
just got a stream.
Oh.
He had a spit hanging down to his navel.
Happens.
I have that on those big jobs, as they say.
Oh,
All right, guys, we're going to take a quick break and be back with some more here in just a minute.
we're gonna have to.
So much chiller.
Yeah.
Want to start off with?
Oh, I was just gonna say. So, all our visual listeners, I know we probably don't sound any different for all the actual just verbal listeners, but the people that using their pupils, we have a new setup.
Pupils.
Yeah, we have a new little setup. A little bit more relaxed. I'm leaned back. Matt, shit, earlier he had his hands in his pants. He was so chill.
Oh, post it up, baby.
We
wanna
got
see
some
that?
couches, chairs. Ryan has a little cup holder for his whiskey, and
Nice.
like we're gonna have some stuff on the walls, some of our sponsors, and have the Bayou Dragon podcast up, like the board and all that shit. But
Yeah, we're in the construction phase of it. You know, we're
But it's-
just kind of getting moved in over here. So
yeah, these chairs, once they get broke in, I think they'll be very nice. Right now they're still kind of stiff.
Yeah.
They just need to be sat in a little bit. We need to bring over our bigger friends just to break them in for us.
yeah, Colby, if you're watching this, come on, have a seat, brother.
Yeah, Dimbo, not
Yeah, he'll never break it in with Dimbo.
yeah, no, he'll break it in, but it'll be the different way. Some bitch be having sex with the cushions of the chair or something. That dude there, man. Like a rabbit. And yeah, no, so we new studio coming along.
Yeah, it's
And,
coming, man. I'm excited for it. It looks good. It already feels a lot better. Just saying that it's much more comfortable than sitting over a Lifetime table with a camo tablecloth on it and wires
yeah,
hanging out everywhere, and you're having to open the door and tiptoe around the whole room because you don't want to just make the whole thing fall apart. So
yeah,
kind of come in here and just walk up to the couch and have a seat. Now everything's tucked away, looks clean, it's comfortable.
Yeah.
Well, also, I just want to go ahead and say old Mitchell, he would have been here since this is at his house, but he just had his child today. And congratulations to him. He had a little baby boy named Davis, 21 inches long, he said?
No, he was
21 inches.
21 pounds.
Good grief.
Yeah,
No,
Jesus.
he was much longer than 21 inches. He was 21 pounds. I think he was
What?
3 feet long.
And
Nah,
a
he
whole
was,
ass 6-year-old.
Yeah, he had a mustache and a Rolex.
Yeah, he was 21 inches, 8 pounds, 9 ounces. Yeah,
Like, that's
Sucker's already got like a size 13 foot on him too.
Yeah.
Man, he's a big dude.
I showed the picture to some guys at work, and they're like, "Damn, the big ass baby."
Big ass baby, man.
And I was like, "Man, that ain't shit." My wife was 9'14" when she was born. I was like, "If we have a kid,
Both my boys are 9 pounds.
You
really?"
never
And you're
know,
not
man.
like you.
I was 9-pound baby. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you didn't
Like
carry
Luke,
that weight.
Luke was like
No.
a 8 pound, 9 ounce. Like he was a big baby too. And I mean, he was the smallest. I say smallest. I mean,
he's the runt of the family, and Mitchell probably was 6 pounds, and now he's
gigantic.
behemoth.
Yeah. So
I wonder
you
what
never know,
Damon
man. We'll
was.
see. I think this baby in particular has that Blackshear blood in him. I think he's gonna be about 6'6".
6'6" and probably
Yeah.
built like Jacob Blackshear, like just stout,
I hope so.
like a carrot.
I hope
You know,
so.
like really big up top, skinny at bottom,
Yeah.
like an
Just
Like
can't
a
help
carrot.
it.
Like
His
a
leg day
carrot or
every
like-
day.
like one of them egrets. You see him just like out there plucking minnows from a marsh.
stork.
Yeah,
Stork ankles.
Jeez.
yeah, no ankles, all chest. It's like, damn, looking like he'd be on Foghorn Leghorn. But also, I keep just saying also and just keep
Also.
adding more shit. But Ryan gave me this for Christmas, no homo, and a beautiful bottle of Elijah Craig, which don't get it mixed up. This is like a special bottle. Elijah Craig Barrel Proof 1789. Like I think there's 1,000 bottles made. This is batch number 922. I don't know exactly, but it's 124.8 proof. So
Yeah, it's a
do
little
the
stout.
fucking math.
It is
That
stout.
shit.
A little heavy.
Yeah, when I first took a drink of it, it kind of singed the nostrils.
What was it when you went and bought that? Try to get 2?
Yeah, no. So I was at Specs and I was buying Christmas presents for people, and I was like,
thought
"Hey,
of me.
you got anything in the back?" And they said, "Yeah, we've got." I was looking for Colonel Taylor, which we had at the ranch.
Oh God.
And they said, "Yeah, we got a bottle of Colonel Taylor." And I was like, "Okay, well, how many you got?" And they said, "Well, you can only have one." I said, "Well, that's going home with me. So what else
Yeah.
do you have back there?" And we got some Elijah Craig barrel proof, and then we had some 2 or 3 other ones that I got. And I said, "Well, give me one of whatever you can give me of each." So that's
Yeah.
what they brought from the back. They were holding them out for Christmas, but
And you gave this to me, and I was like, man, I would like to wait for you to drink it. You're like, nah, dude, man, that's your Christmas present. Drink it. And then it worked out perfect.
yeah,
The first
good.
time
Here we go.
I have not got to crack it yet. Well, I could have on. I had one. It wasn't even a day off. I had to work the day after Christmas, and I went back the following night, so I had like that afternoon.
Yeah.
But my sister bought me a 10-year rye of Whistle Pig, so I cracked into that. And I got one of them smokers, and it comes with like cherry wood, apple wood, hickory, mesquite.
Oh,
oak.
yeah.
So I sat there and
Smoked them out.
I smoked them out.
Did you have elk store flashbacks or what?
Man, that does make that adds a lot of profile.
I've been to Fredericksburg 40, 50 times. I go to wineries all the time, but that elk store is I haven't been there.
Yeah, no, that's one of my favorite little spots.
How new is it?
Man, it's been there for as long as I can remember.
Okay, so it's been there since
a minute. Yeah,
yeah. That was a super cool place. We walk in, there was 2 people in suits playing a fucking
what is that thing called?
Oh, that big giant one.
Yeah, it's not a violin. But
no. It's it'll hit me here in a minute. More in the middle of conversation, I'll just say
cello.
Cello.
Yeah,
there you go.
Cello.
Just
you
hit
had a guy playing a cello, and then one person playing like the keyboard, and they were just
I even saw somebody in the back playing the sungi horn.
Yeah, maybe so. But like me, and there's that line. There's a lot of people there for how it's pretty compact, but everybody was they had very good old fashions, and y'all went to go get an old fashioned. I tasted y'all's, and it was fantastic. But me and Mike,
old fashioned, they had this.
I was like, I'm ready to drink now, so we sat down and got a bottle of Malt.
Yeah, you can always get
smoke chamber for that thing, man.
That's cool.
It was fantastic though.
That's a cool spot. That's probably one of my favorite little bars.
Yeah, no, that's definitely a good starting spot.
Oh yeah, it's a great starter.
I enjoyed that. That was my first time getting to kind of get out and experience Fredericksburg in that way. So I was glad I had some good tour guides, man.
Oh yeah, and if you could start from 10 a.m. when like the first winery starts, and then go into what we did that night. 1, you won't remember. 2, you'd have a blast.
Oh yeah,
you hit this if you're gonna go do stuff like go to the elk store, and then if you do go to like Crossroads or somewhere else, you hit 4 wineries. You're drunk, and then you're very drunk. Then you're wasted, and then randomly you wake up in an Uber, and they're like, "Is this your home?"
Well, that whole town is based on getting you drunk. Like even for the guys here shopping with the wives on Main Street, I can't think. There's probably every other store there's giving out free beer.
Yeah,
just for going in. Yeah,
we got there and they're like, "Hey, can we have beer on the street?" Oh, no, we can't do that. And I'm like, dude, I could have swore last time I was here, I just walked by somewhere, and they're like, "Hey, here's the Lone Star." You just take it down the street.
16 big tall boy Lone Star.
Yeah, man.
No. Yeah, it was news to me because when I'm there, I'm always just drinking wine.
Yeah,
or might go to Garrison Brothers, or you might go to like Allstat Brewery, which are all great places. If you're in Texas and you haven't been to Fredericksburg, Texas, and you do like wine, whiskey, or beer, or just good food, German food, go there. It's fantastic.
Well, the elk store too. That's all their own liquor. They make all their own charter, their bourbon, their rum. Everything's made by them. Yeah,
it was fantastic. That was one of the better old fashions I've had, especially recently. I would say there, and then if you go to Galveston, go to it's called Texas Tail Vodka Distillery, and they do all their own vodka, and they have like a whiskey old fashioned that is
never been there,
bro.
Hey, funny story. My wife was up in Fredericksburg, and they went on the wine tours, and they got skunk drunk, and then they Ubered back to the house, and on their way, she got on the I think it was Waiter or like Uber Eats or something, and ordered just a shitload of Taco Bell, and then they got home and like waiting on the Taco Bell, and I fucking get a knock at the door, and there's a Uber driver or fucking whatever driver outside my door with a shit pile of Taco Bell. I was like, what the fuck? And they're like, yeah, I got your order for Rachel. I was like, oh. So I
can you bring
sure, here, give it to me. And I called her. I was like, hey, I just got all this fucking Taco Bell that y'all ordered. So
yeah,
that is
thank you.
Yeah, that is hilarious. First off, thank you for the diarrhea. Second,
because you ate it.
Yeah, I ate what I could. There was like 5 fucking orders in there, but it was funny because she just jumped on and I guess didn't realize she had to change her fucking address.
You're telling that story, and I'm like, I go to Fredericksburg quite often, and I've never seen the Taco Bell.
I don't know. She just jumped on.
Yeah,
there
that's also. I was gonna kind of go on to that.
That was prior to our.
I don't know where the nearest town with a Taco Bell would be.
Maybe Kerrville. If not Kerrville, it's gonna be Austin. Dripping Springs.
Probably Austin. No, there ain't one in Dripping Springs. I can tell you that now.
Yeah.
Can you
There's
imagine
Whataburgers
they're
up
just
there.
Like, oh,
Yeah.
there's a Taco Bell. You know, they're all excited.
Even Fredericksburg.
Matthew gets the food.
I don't even think they have I think they just have Whataburger in Fredericksburg.
They got a Whataburger, Burger King, McDonald's,
Mac.
and they got a CC's Pizza Bar.
Oh, they do have a Pizza Hut.
They have a CC's Pizza Buffet.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Is it Pizza Hut or
nostalgic.
Pizza Inn?
They have a Pizza Hut.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Because me and my wife, that's what we usually do is we go to 8, 9 wineries, get pissed drunk, teeth and lips purple from wine, and then order 2 large pizzas and engorge ourselves and pass out. And mind you, it's 6:30 p.m.
Yeah. They have a Dairy
Sounds-
Queen too. I forgot about that.
Well,
Like
every town in Texas has a Dairy
Sounds like a
Queen.
wonderful evening, honestly.
Oh, it's great.
I mean, if I could do that here at home, I'd do it.
Yeah. Oh, well, you can. I guess you can go to Vine to Wine.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Just-
Down the
Oh.
street.
Just go ahead and get
Yeah.
slobber drunk at Vine to Wine. The
You
drive
might
down
as
the
well
road.
start taking Tylenol before you go.
Yeah. Oof. They be stepping on them grapes with some heavy feet, boy. They getting all that juices. But anyway, enough about wine and whiskey, but just go to Fredericksburg. Yeah, so we had you on Ryan 2 ago. We're
We're
up
in
there
Fredericksburg,
at Fredericksburg, Tanner's
Ranch.
First Deer. If y'all are just tuning in for your first podcast, episode like 21 or 22 was we're in Fredericksburg, and one of our buddies shot his first deer and then ended up proceeding to shoot 3 more.
Yeah.
Yep.
And we sat there in front of 2 deer hanging up behind us. I don't remember what Michael had that gun.
Who knows?
Who know, dude? I love the group message. Like everybody's quiet in it. Like whenever Michael starts talking about guns, because I don't know shit compared to him. And you just message Michael, hey, what kind of scope would I do? And then 5 paragraphs later, it's like,
Oh, he knows.
He
he
goes
loves
in
that.
depth.
If I need a gun, a scope mounted and a gun sighted in, I give it to Michael.
yeah, that's what I've always
I'm like,
done.
hey, buddy, here you go.
I knew when you sent that text message, as soon as it popped up on his screen, he went like this. Cracked
Yeah.
his knuckles and got over the
Like he has some dry saltine crackers, some sweet tea, sits down, puts on some glasses. He doesn't even need them, and then starts typing saying, well, if you need this, or you can use the 6.5 to 2009. Just it's like, what?
Yeah.
Dude, chill, bro.
He knows his shit.
I just got a 270 Savage that I want you to sight in.
He knows his shit, though. I will say that. You're
Yes.
right.
We need to have him on the podcast.
We do. Well, we tried to get him the night of at Fredericksburg, and he told
That's
me,
right. He choked. He said he was shrunken. He was shriveled.
yeah.
I think that was also a little after he had his double misser. Wasn't it
Yeah,
after
that
that?
was
A
after his
little
double
upset.
miss.
He told me as soon as he got on the buggy, he goes, I'm going to drink heavily.
And he did. He
did.
drank heavily.
I don't even know if it was a double misser. It was a barrel clearance to brush issue. He shot the same tree twice.
Yeah. Yeah. And he was definitely, all of us are in blinds or like pretty set up good when I pulled up, he's Army style, cocked up on a
prone.
log,
Oh,
like looking like Chris Kyle up there on top of a mountain.
in it.
And he's angled like at a fucking 45. And then he just, hey guys, when we pull up,
His feet probably had no blood flow.
Oh
at
no,
all.
like he was full blown into it, and the stand it didn't fit, so he was breaking limbs and like made his own stand and sat.
Yeah, his old brush blind.
Oh yeah, I'm just like
Yeah.
everybody else is comfortable. I'm drinking or fucking taking a nap.
Yeah.
Mike's over here rubbing fucking doe urine on his face and shit.
When we're at the damn camp, me and Colby drinking, screwing off, talking on the phone, shooting a deer.
Yeah, you're shooting deer from a ranger, and you have
And
poor Mike up here.
that was the toughest week of deer hunting I've ever had at that ranch.
It was not easy.
Didn't bother me one bit, man. I enjoyed the shit out of
And
it.
the crazy thing is, about a week after y'all left, when it got cold and it rained, every cell camera I have on that place, when the feeder went off, there were 8 to 10 deer at every feeder. It's like, where were they when we were hunting?
It's whatever. We got our deer. We got out of there. We went and shot sandhills. We had a good time.
Yeah, it was fun.
I was more there for the guys to shoot shit.
I know. I enjoyed cooking and hanging out and drinking and all that good stuff,
Yeah, drinking expensive whiskeys and cooking steaks from so up there Ryan likes to keep a fire 24/7.
Have to. Tradition.
It's when you get there, and he was up there for 2 weeks. So this fire never went out for almost a total of 3 weeks. And you take the ashes, like the hot embers and shit like that, and you put it on the pit. That's where you cook all your food over. And those fucking steaks, man, had some. You cooked some. Was it New York strips?
Yeah, they were New York strips. Yeah,
New York strips and either it was asparagus and all kinds of shit, man. Potatoes, macaroni, something.
It was them golden.
Oh,
potatoes.
yeah, it was the new taters.
Yeah, whole, yeah.
And
Those were good.
I'm just talking though, like we're all sitting there throwing wood on the fire, and we're all sitting there, and Ryan's just coming up with a square face shovel, just scooping it up, throwing it in there. I'm talking, I've cooked over fires, but I've never taken a fire like embers like that to a pit and then cooked
taken from the fire.
Yeah, there's never been a piece of charcoal in a pit that we've owned there. Now I bought that pit that weekend because our pit got trashed by calves. Another story, but yeah, so that was that pit will never see charcoal.
Yeah, well,
no need.
That
was that mesquite?
No, it's live oak.
Live oak.
Yeah, live oak. It's all 2 or 3 year old dead live oak from the freeze. The people are still cutting and cutting and cutting. And we're still cutting and cutting. I mean, there's enough oak on that pasture to last me 10 years.
Yeah,
nothing wrong with that, man. That's a good problem to have, I guess.
Especially when you like burning for 3 weeks on it.
Oh yeah.
Like Ryan was in customer service mode by the time we made it up there, and we were like, we didn't have to do nothing, man. We didn't have to lift a finger. He's like, hey, man, I got you breakfast, lunch, dinner. I got you a hot fucking place to sleep.
Yeah, he even put his hand out like this for us.
Shower. He's like,
I was like, whoa, what's that? He's like, that's my hand, boy.
Yeah, man, it was phenomenal.
Y'all had that old stabbing cabin to yourself over there?
Yeah.
All y'all piled off in there?
Oh,
yeah, 4 dudes. 4 dudes in the stabbing cabin.
At least there's 4 bunk beds, you know?
Yeah. I think that last night I fell asleep with somebody else. Me, Michael, and Colby.
Shit,
it was like
man.
2 a.m. and I was like, bro, we got to wake up in 2 hours. I was like, I'm going to bed. And Mike's like, that was when he had to drive to North Dakota the next day.
But we almost missed that last sit, too, me and Mitch.
Yeah.
Tanner missed it.
Yeah, Tanner missed it. I woke up and I was cleaning, and Tanner come stumbling out. Had this look on his face like, them guys left me. And I was like, I bet they didn't leave you. I bet you just didn't get up.
No, so Porter got up, woke everybody up once. He said, all right, got up, walked out. Me and Mitch kind of came to, got up, started getting dressed, tried to wake up Tanner. Hey, bud, you getting up? And he did the thing. He went like, gave me the look, he's like, and I was like, you gonna come sit? And he was like, just laid back down. I was like, all right.
He's out.
And so we left, came back, and then, of course, when we get back, 3-4 hours later, what the fuck, man? Y'all left me in bed. Y'all didn't wake me up.
Oh, I'm glad y'all left him, man. Somebody helped me clean up. We were done by the time y'all got there.
No,
I think we had all the deer quartered. And
yeah. No, y'all had everything done. I was like, because I went and dropped everybody off, and then I went and picked everybody up, and I was like, there's the game plan. We're going to get back. We already have the deer clean, but we'll quarter all the deer, ice them down, pick up, clean up the houses, shag ass to Lubbock. And then we get back, and Tanner's throwing in like the last fucking quarter that you just chopped off. And I'm like, all right, so let's just clean up the bunks.
Just gotta clean up the house.
Yeah.
Just clean up the house.
Make the beds and hit the road.
Yeah.
Hell, I didn't even have to make a bed. I never slept under a cover. I just slept
Passed
on top. Just drunk off of whiskey or whatever.
Yeah, man, you can't beat that hill country, dude. Like, as much hunting as I've done, I've always looked at people like deer hunters and guys who, have deer leases and camps and all that stuff. And I'm like, man, like, just duck hunting just does it for me. Like, I love the waterfowl hunt, and this is like my bread and butter. This is my forte. Like, I will never go back to deer hunting. But they're like, dude, as soon as I set foot in camp, I'm like, golly, I miss this, man.
Yeah. No, I was an avid waterfowler. I grew up waterfowl hunting, guided forever. And in the last 3 years, I just really, really, really enjoy the peaceful calmness of deer hunting. And I've always liked the deer hunt, but now I'm just like really into it for some reason here recently. As far as just having a deer lease, never had a deer lease. I always went Montana or somewhere and hunted for a week and then called it good. But now I like going every weekend, and I think part of that's I had my lab Rio, who was. I'll never have a dog better than him, and he passed away unexpectedly. And ever since then, I was like, I don't really care to duck hunt.
Yeah,
that's I can see that now having a dog that that you enjoy working with and like a good dog, man, it makes the hunt so much better.
Yeah,
like I just started hunting. She made her first 2 hunts. My dog Marshall, a little yellow lab that I've got, and it was like the first hunt I made with her. I never even picked up my shotgun. Yeah. I was like, I want to come out. And this is her first one. Obviously, I want to make sure she does, she doesn't break and she's not getting out and, showing her ass and acting a fool. I want to try to, keep my focus on her throughout the hunt. So, but I mean, it was probably one of my favorite hunts of the year. I mean, we went out and shot 3 freaking teal. Yeah. It was cold as shit. Everything's froze over.
Literally.
Now granted, there was some bad shooting that happened that morning. I mean, we probably should have shot about 15 birds, and we ended up with 3. But anyways, I got to work the dog, man, and that was like one of the most satisfying hunts I had all year for 3 teal. She got to make her first retrieve. She worked. I could see our shit paying off, just the way that we had worked on it. And, yeah, I can see that, kind of it adds a whole nother dimension to hunt.
I was always straight. I started deer hunting when I was 9. My dad went and threw me in a blind, and I was like, when you're a kid, you're nervous as shit. It's dark when you get put in there.
All the spooky stuff.
All the your imagination shit, starts running wild.
Oh, bro, when you're a 9-year-old kid, like
Bigfoots.
Bro, especially out in Ozona, Texas.
Dude, I'm 24. I thought a fucking Rougarou was gonna get me when y'all dropped me off at the blind the other day.
Dude, I was nervous, but then, like, I deer hunted from 9. Like, I didn't start duck hunting until I was right at like 13, like 8th grade, 7th or 8th grade. So like from 4th or 5th grade all the way up till then, it was like deer hunt. Then I started duck hunting, but I was just still deer hunting more. So I was like, didn't pick it up till we're in high school when we could finally drive and go duck hunt. I was just like, and to this day, I'm like, I would rather have a lease, which I'm working on right now up in Canyon Lake, which is looking pretty promising. I'm hoping that works out. If that does, then
yeah,
that'd be really nice.
I think there's another factor to it for us as well, though. It's like, we have better waterfowl opportunities around here than we do for like whitetail deer hunting. So just the convenience of being able to jump in the truck and leave your house in the morning and go duck hunt, as opposed to, saying, all right, now I'm going to go for the weekend, and drive 4 hours down the road, especially at our age, I'm 24 years old, so it just makes more sense for me. And it's also more conducive for me for waterfowl hunting because A, I love it. B, it's right here. I have all the opportunities, and, C, I can drive back to my house and stop at Waffle House on the way home, come and jump in my own bed and take a nap when I'm done.
Oh, dude. That the other day, that Tanner and Mitch were like, man, I would really enjoy if you'd come and hunt. I was like, nah, I'm good. They went and hunted. They limited out. They had a fantastic hunt. I would have gone. Dude, it would have been great. But I was just like, I'll just go and reserve a table at Waffle House before all the duck hunters get there.
There you go.
So I sat there, had a cup of coffee. They walked in. They told me about their hunt. I'm like, hell yeah.
Awesome.
I'm like, fuck yeah.
Shit, y'all probably got done eating before the duck hunters showed up because they were done before 8. They were running out before 8 o'clock.
Yeah. I know. Well, I just woke up. I went and got fucking nice and sloshed the night before. Me and Delaney went to Buxton, grabbed a pizza, and then went to Nature's and drank beer.
Fantastic pizza they've got.
Yeah, and then drank beer for a long time. Then went to honestly, I don't remember. I was kind of drunk. We went somewhere else. Oh, we went bowling. That's what we did. What? Dude, she was just like, she was talking shit. She's like, I could beat your ass
there in Port Arthur.
Oh, man.
Yeah, we went to Port Arthur.
Nice.
Yeah.
What is it, Max
Bowling?
Max Bowl, yeah.
Baby.
Bro, I walked in there, got a picture of beer, and then we bowled like 3 rounds. And by that time, I was like,
done.
I was like,
Take me home.
We need to go. So we went home. I got fucking 8 hours of sleep, woke up, and then met the boys at Waffle House for a nice morning breakfast.
As far as the duck hunting thing goes and waterfowl hunting, the last 13 years that I waterfowl hunted, it was guiding. And I really think I burnt myself out just dealing with people. And not that people are bad. It's just you're not hunting with your buddies. You don't get to leave when you want to leave. You don't get to, you got to be prim and proper the whole time. And it's
some people are bad.
Yeah, and there are some people who are bad. I'm surprised I'm still alive. I'm surprised I've not been shot in the head or something. But, so I think I kind of burnt myself out. Now, if I could get me a little marsh pond that I could wake up, 30 minutes before, drive out there, have my decoys hanging up in the blind, put them out, hunt, and then come back, I'd probably get back into it. But
hey, Joe,
I am not battling that marsh.
I'll tell you what, I did that for the very first time this past week. Shout out Trevor Bates. I appreciate you taking me hunting the other day. Buddy of mine calls me, hey, man, you want to come hunt? I was working nights. Just so happens his farm is 15 minutes down the road from where I work. I get off pretty early, so I leave. I got to leave work. Now, mind you, I worked all night. We make shift change early, compared to most places around us. I make shift change at 3:30. I usually get to leave by 4. I left work, went to the camp, and still got to sleep for an hour and a half when I got there. Then got up, jumped in the truck, drove the truck out to the blind. And, I mean, this was one of those – this is not the kind of blind we hunt in around here in the rice fields or anything like that. This was a 2-story with a stove in it, a ladder up to the top
the
deck.
Hawk Club?
Huh?
Was it the Hawk Club?
No, this is somewhere out in Crosby.
Okay.
I don't even know what they call it. It's there was actually a little stone sign on the front, but they own this little farm. This is just his family that hunts it, and man, it was phenomenal. And he let me bring my dog. I got to really focus on working her. I picked up the gun one time to shoot and shot one duck the whole time we were there, but we shot, I don't know, 4 wood ducks and a greenhead. Pretty slow, but oh my gosh, just hunting that way, it's like, man,
it's it makes those tough hunts where you really don't care.
Mm-hmm.
But and I know y'all hunt public, and I mean, when I was a kid, I ravaged public land, like Middleton, like the back of my hand, and all these other places, right? All this public marsh, and it seemed like about 8 to 10 years ago, places that I used to be able to wake up, not have to get there at daylight. I mean, not to get there at midnight, get there an hour before shooting time, casually make it to this pond and hunt, were being overrun by people.
Yep.
That's probably about the right time, because it lasted, like when we're freshmen in high school, started duck hunting on our own, like going out, all up until about a year or two after high school.
Mm-hmm.
It was fucking, you could wake up at, like, you would still have to wake up relatively early because it's a pretty far drive, boat ride, but like you wake up at 2:30 and 3 o'clock, drive there, get in the boat, go wherever if you're West End, Middleton, Anahuac. But now you have to be there at midnight if you want to, if you're mad at them.
I used to hunt Middleton it was open Saturday, Sunday, Wednesday back when I was hunting it all the time. And I would hunt it every Saturday and Sunday. Saturday morning, I could be in the water at the boat ramp underneath the bridge an hour before shooting time, hit the rollers in the pond, have about 20 minutes, put decoys out, and I was hunting, and I'd be the only person in the entire unit.
Now you
won't get a pond if you do that.
Yeah.
You show up and there's just nowhere to go.
And I don't know what contributed to that. I don't know if it was.
I know what it is, honestly.
100%.
Duck Dynasty.
Duck Dynasty, the emergence of media and social media.
Yeah.
People want to take photos with that.
I think Mud Motors, too, had a big play.
Yeah. Well, we were hunting with the 20
outboards. Yeah.
Mariner.
I used to hunt with a 15-horse Chrysler, 1973 15-horse Chrysler is what I used to go duck hunting with.
I'll say this, though. There was the Mud Motors that you're talking about, surface drives.
Surface drives.
Because you could get a long tail's been around for forever. But I will say, I think that it was the ease of, how there was a time when like we were in high school, I want to say is, throughout our middle school to high school transition, where like social media was just starting. We got to see that whole turn where, you started out, we had flip phones and, a kid maybe had a Firefly in his pocket just so he could call mom and dad.
Chocolate.
He had a chocolate, an Envy or whatever. Like there was if you pressed up on the little pad, you went on the internet and you were like, fuck, my parents are going to see this. And you had to like click out of it real quick because, you'd get charged or something. And then very quickly over the next couple of years, it was like, boom, you could get on the internet and it was all there.
Yeah.
And then that, I think, was the turning point.
Yeah.
And I know that I mean, everybody that I've heard talk about what was the turning point, that's their answer as well.
And that's a good point. So, like, when I was hunting Middleton, when I was hunting Pace Track, when I was hunting all this stuff, everything's about word of mouth. There was nothing online. There was nothing published. I couldn't get on the internet and print my permits out. I had to physically drive to
pick them up,
and I had to have a picked up copy, and I had to sign it.
Yep.
They won't even do that now.
No, they don't even do that now. And I think that the ease that they've made it, the internet has made it ease of access, and it's
there was a few turning points. One, and this was before the Duck Dynasty, definitely, but like the social media, like you're saying, because one, just make a point, people like pile pics.
I think
most of the people don't even like to do
in the more broad sense of what you're talking about. It's trendy, right? So you start out, social media starts out, and like I think Facebook was one of the first ones to hit, right? So Facebook got big, and that was kind of like, oh, your mom and dad are on Facebook, and your grandma's got a Facebook, and then here comes Instagram, and all of our age groups on Instagram, and then it's like, then social media starts popping off, and it's like you're seeing guys that are, oh, these guys are duck hunting, and they killed a bunch of ducks this morning. Those guys are cool. And then people are like, I want to go shoot ducks. And then I want to go duck hunt, and it was a trend. It was like a trendy thing to do, you know?
Well, you saw like Drake Waterfowl and all these brands,
start popping up,
that are posting good photos from at that time.
Look at the decoy companies these days too. So when I was growing up, you had two brands, Carry Light, Flambeau. That's it.
Yeah.
Now you have, I mean, there, 100 decoy companies out there probably. I mean, it's unbelievable.
Yeah, and I just go with the cheap game winners, but that's exactly there's 1,000 of them, but Flambeau was like the real big one back then.
Yeah.
But the social media aspect, does people want to be taken, and most of the people don't love it to the core. And they'll argue that fact or whatever, but it's like, I know it could be a pretty dude or a pretty girl that just want to take a photo of some fucking ducks or a deer or whatever the fuck. And then, I got sidetracked right at the.
Yeah, no, I mean you were talking about your three factors, right? So your social media, ease of access, Duck Dynasty.
Yeah,
and you said you had there was something else.
Like before the Duck Dynasty, it was the mud motors, like you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
You had the surface drive motors.
They started coming out.
Like you had long tails, but they fucking sucked compared to what they are now.
Yeah,
like at the time they were dope, but they were very slow. They're hard to control. You had that, and then they came out with winches.
Yep, winches too, yeah.
Because you weren't driving and jumping levees, really. You had a winch over shit.
Yeah.
Everything you had a winch over. Like, there was not, like West End, we had to go. Most of the time, it was tied out. You had a winch, fucking, and this ain't a lie,
man,
like 50 to 150 yards.
There was a time when we went and did that, and battery died in the winch, whatever, when we were pushing that big, heavy boat. It took us 4 hours to pull that boat through the mud. The tide was out, and it was all that silt and washed back into the cut, and we had to pull that boat with, I mean, I want to say we even had PVC rollers to kind of help us out. It took us 4 hours to get over the levee.
Yeah.
By the time we got out to the pond to hunt, it was so, like, we were just dreading the pullover on the way back out. We're just like, fuck this, man. Let's just go.
Let's go, yeah.
And but like that was like a big thing because we didn't have winches when we first started. And then they're like, you can mount winches on your boat. It was like,
yeah,
the fuck? Because mine, like you were saying with what you ran on your outboard, I had my great grandfather 30-something years ago won in a raffle when he bought a lawnmower and raffled off there's a raffle for a 20-horse Mariner.
Yeah,
and he won it. I used that Mariner that was twice my age. Yep. And put it on a fucking 14-foot Lumicraft, and 5 of us would hunt out of it. What we'd do is we'd take the gas tank off of it. I had butterfly screws for the motor. We'd pull that off. 2 people would carry the boat. 1 person would carry the motor. 1 person would carry the gas tank.
Yep.
And we'd walk over the levees.
Set it back down.
Put it in, and go.
Yeah.
Then it got to where
the winches and everything.
Winches, mud motors, and then Duck Dynasty came out. And then people were like, "Oh my god!"
I think that was an explosive point. Like you had an uptick here at your social media and your surface drives and all that, and then Duck Dynasty and that shit. Yeah. The trend, if there was a trend line for duck hunters in that time, it fucking spiked.
Same with gator hunting and gator products when swamp people it was like gator hunting. Then then swamp people. Everyone wanted gator hides. Everyone wanted to eat gator meat. Everybody wanted to shoot gators. I'm like, and my uncle, who, was the biggest processor in the state of Texas, like, this fucking is awesome.
Yeah, I loved it.
I made more in a year than I did in 15.
Yeah.
Because everybody wanted fucking gator.
And I'd say that too about, like, as sour as I probably sound about that for waterfowl hunting, like for guys that have guide services and leases where they're taking people out, like that was probably great for them.
Oh, it was.
I guarantee you it was great for them. But the reason I would probably sound sour about it is because that translated to a lot, like you said, a lot more people trying to get in the hole on public land.
That's why I transitioned from public land to guiding, because there was a really good buck to be made, and it paid for the addiction and surpassed me through for those years. The other thing I'll say too is you look at the trend of waterfowlers, the age. Back when I was growing up, the only people who duck hunted were old men.
Yep.
When I say old men, 60s, 70s year old men.
Yeah, like they're wearing
duck wax,
suits.
wax, canvas.
Yes.
Yeah. And then now there's still some old guys that do it, but most of them are if you go to the public water right now, you're looking at 18-year-olds,
18 to
20, 22-year-olds,
maybe
college,
probably younger too.
Yeah.
High school, college guys, which great. I'd rather them be duck hunting out on the streets.
Doing crack.
Yeah, but
That's
it's kind of one of those deals. Like, let's not be idiots about it, and let's respect one another. And that's what you kind of lose when you get those younger kids out there.
Well, and I'll say this in their defense, because I know a lot of them, a lot of young guys that are ethical. They're by the book. Yep. They do it. They do the right thing. And I think that goes full circle back to there's a shithead in every bunch.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Right. So there's, I would say, quite a bit of shitheads in this bunch. But there are a lot of young guys out there. I know personally quite a few that are by the book. They do their thing. They do it the right way.
Well, we had shitheads in our age bracket. He had shitheads in his age bracket.
A lot of respect for those guys that still have the patience to do that.
Fewer, yes. And there was fewer for me, and there was, like, it went from, like, the least, a little bit more, because Matthew's a couple of years younger than me. I'm a little bit, but, like, now, like, we were kind of raised on it. Like, I started duck hunting. I was just hunting with my uncle, who, like you're saying, he was in his mid-50s at the time. He's like, let's go duck hunting, So I'm duck hunting with him, and as a 13-year-old kid with my 50-year-old uncle or whatever,
run out there duck hunting.
Like, I was like, I've never thought about duck hunting. I've always deer hunted or shot turkeys or did something like that. So that's what got me into it, and he taught me the ways. A lot of these kids, we all were taught by parents or older generation. Yeah. A lot of these kids are seeing this shit and just going out there, have never been taught gun safety, never been taught any of this.
That's another thing. Is it like
how to drive a fucking boat?
Whenever I went out and made my first few hunts, Uncle Leon, right here in South China, we go sit in the blind and we're talking to each other. He's telling me how things are. I'm getting to experience it all. And then I take that and translate it into going out on public land and hunting.
Yeah.
And then you have these guys who are just like, fuck, it can't be that hard, and going straight out there and doing it. And, it's like, well, fuck, I'm going to get the edge on this guy, and I'm going to, do this or that or whatever to ensure my success while, violating this rule.
It's not that they're shitheads. They're just ignorant of how to, not ethically, but how to responsibly go about it and how to do it to where everybody,
And I'm going to back that up saying most of them probably are in good intent.
Yes.
But you've never been shown.
Exactly.
You have a 15 or let's say 16-year-old kid that just got his license, sees some cool photos on Instagram. He's like, we're fucking going duck hunting. He got his daddy to buy him a 25 big block GTR. Yep. And then he comes out with fucking $7,000 of Sitka gear.
And all he needs is a buddy who's 18 to be able to hunt on there legally.
Yes. And they go out there hunt and they fucking it's just fuck. And this is the people that are like bumping into you. Like, we're just trying to putt into our pond, and these kids are just going.
I will say this though, there is a disconnect when it comes to all that shit, because there could be all right, one group over here and then us, right? And this other group could be some cool ass dudes. Like, they could be cool motherfuckers who we'd want to hang out with and drink beer with and all that, but they're threatening to take our pond. And so fuck them. And then they look at us the same way and they're like, fuck those guys. It just becomes a whole deal where it's like every man for himself, and you can't always look across the pond. And because there's guys that are just shitty, you can't always look across the pond and assume these are good. These guys are cool. You know, these guys know what they're doing. These are cool guys. There's always going to be, because there's someone that ruined it for everybody else. It's every man for himself. So it's fuck the other guy, right?
And what I've noticed too is like when it started getting bad for me, where I was like, you know what, fuck this, I'm not doing this anymore. Is they were very confrontational. I mean, there was times when I would see them come in the pond and I'd be like, oh, there's only 3 of them. Let's let them hunt with us so we can all capitalize on this one pond and we're not fighting each other the whole time. And then you pull over there and they're like shining with the spotlight. And I'm like, hey, man, I'm not trying to take your spot. I'm trying to get y'all to come hunt with us. We don't want to hunt with y'all. All right, well, can we hunt with you? No, we don't. Fuck no. You know, and it's like you might learn a thing or two if you just kind of hang out.
Why don't you just come?
Yeah.
Oh, dude, I would rather shoot more limits than go out there and shoot
I
one.
think that has been lost upon everybody because I was the same way when I was younger. I didn't want to hunt more, like 4 max. And I think I got burned on that because I hunted with a couple of guys who just didn't know what the fuck they were doing. And I was like, man, hey, if I can have my 2 or 3 guys with me that I know they know what they're doing, I don't need anybody else. I don't want anybody else. I don't want any strangers. I don't want to have to deal with, I don't know if this guy knows gun safety. I don't know if this guy knows his species, his game species. I don't want him shooting fucking water turkeys, and all this shit, putting me in a bind. But there is something to be learned there. I think opening that door, you have something to gain there.
Dude, my favorite mornings, honestly, are when it's 8 of like my friends in a fucking box blind on a fucking rice field.
Oh yeah,
and we're having this coffee, bullshitting. I don't care if we shoot 5 teal, if we shoot an 8-man limit of fucking gadwall. Those are the mornings I'm like, this is if we're just fucking yelling back and forth, hooting, hollering, having a good time. Get serious when some ducks decoy, if they do decoy. Yeah. That's my favorite.
I will say this too, as far as the waterfowl deal goes, and I'll probably get off this soapbox, but coming up when I was younger, the amount of birds that we had in this area were tenfold what we have now. And, you go hunt a rice field and just absolutely mop up, and you see a lot of birds. And that's not what it's all about, but it's a really nice bonus to go out there and actually pull the trigger. Yeah. And then, I started having hunts where I'd go and I wouldn't see a bird, or I'd see 2 birds, or, it just got to where the point where it was like, man, why am I waking up, busting my ass? Not only waking up, busting my ass, but especially rice field hunting, leasing this land, getting on the tractor, snake raking it, setting up the blind, doing everything I'm doing.
Working.
Yes. To go out here and maybe have 2 good hunts a year. But it seems that we don't have the birds that we used to have.
Yeah. And I remember there was a time you talked about there are factors that contribute to that. Advances in technology, in harvesting and all that, not leaving a lot, but and we're not I don't want to dive too deep into
and also
that,
I think it comes in waves, for lack of a better term. You have, you climb that mountain where it gets just awesome. Then you hit that valley for a couple years. And I think this year, from what I've been seeing, it's been a better year than years in the past.
I think it's trending up this year.
Trends is a good word for it. Starting to trend back up and starting to get an uptick of birds coming to the area and starting to.
And even deeper than just a number on birds, like certain species.
Yes.
Like I know in my experience, there was one year, I think at this point now is either 4, maybe even 5 years back, where we had just an absolute stupid amount of pintail in the area.
Yeah, I
and that was the year after they had dropped the limit from 2 to 1.
Yep.
And I couldn't, for the life of me, figure out why they did that, because there were so many pintail. And then for the last few years, we haven't been seeing them in those numbers.
Yeah.
So
that's why I do want to have a game warden on here to talk about some of that stuff. But when you were a kid, Ryan, was the limit still the same as it is now?
It was 6 birds.
Okay. So same.
6 birds there for a little while. It dropped to 5.
Okay.
For like a year, I think. And then it was 6, and then it was 1 pintail, then it was 2 pintail, 1 canvasback. I'm not old enough to have the point system, if that's what you're getting at.
Yeah. Well, no, I know that, but no, like, because I'm pretty sure when I first started, like my very first duck hunt ever, I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure it was 5 a person, and then it's been 6 since then.
Yeah.
But like my grandfather and them, even back cause I just listened to him talk back before Interstate 10 was fucking built. They would shoot. They could only shoot 2 birds one season, like 2 birds a person.
Yeah.
Like, and they were like,
it's hard to imagine.
Not trying to call him out, but he's like, man, fuck this. There's nobody, and at that time there really wasn't nobody hunting except the couple of families that lived around this area. So they went out there, shot their ducks, went back in. He's like, what would be the point to do all this work for 2 birds?
2 birds.
That is hard to imagine, especially with as little pressure as I can imagine they had back then, no pressure.
Yeah.
Well, back then there was just families. There wasn't like people you didn't know.
Yeah,
especially like in Port Acres, like J.D. Murphy's.
It's homesteaders coming in,
Yeah.
That's what we were in Hampshire. I was reading the history of my family.
Dude, J.D. Murphy's, everybody knew everybody that was hunting on a weekend.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean,
like, knew their family, went to church, did all this shit. Now,
that's like me in Middleton. There was 3 of us that hunted. Me, the Bundicks, and the Warnericks. And that was it. And, like, if I heard a boat coming, I could tell by the sound of the engine if it was Kevin Bundick and his brother or if it was Donald Warnerick. And that's the only people that hunted there ever.
Now, dude, fuck. Dude, there's been, it was last year, but, I mean, just saying last year, me and Tanner were driving over the Island Bridge, and we didn't do a early morning. Like, we were going to launch the boat at 4 to go to Middleton, and we were going over, and I was like, we made it, like, almost to where you turn back to go underneath the intercoastal, and I was like, cars were parked almost to the deal, and I was like, so that's a minimum of 60 boats at just this. So we turned around, went back, made it to Anahuac around like almost 5 in the morning, and then went and we were able to get a pond. Like we actually had the Ranger Pond, which is the first pond in Anahuac.
Yeah,
so,
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, so we had the first pond, which was like, I was like, I'm happy with that. But like people were calling us that were trying to like get over there, like, dude, what the fuck? There's like almost 100 fucking vehicles
crazy,
here.
man.
I'm like, I don't know where they're hunting.
Dude, I don't know that many duck hunters. Like,
Crazy.
I'm just assuming that
it's a lot of people from Houston.
It's just guys,
There is.
Or just, there were guys
There's
from
a lot of
Houston.
Huffman people, which I've found. I've hunted, like, I hunted with some people one day. I was like, there's some guys that couldn't get a pond. I was like, it was me and Tanner. We're like, hunt with us. They're from Huffman. They jumped in the fucking blind with us. I was just like, what are y'all doing here?
Yeah, no, I mean it's
we have a good resource here. I mean,
Yep.
A lot of people don't have that, but I do think there are more opportunities than they realize, like throughout the entire state of Texas, and traveling east, west, north, like anywhere, any direction from here, you can there are opportunities there, and more often than not, there's a piece of private property somewhere where the guy would care less if you went out there and duck hunted on it, But it's a public land opportunity. It's guaranteed access, So
yeah, well, that private land shit got ruined back when our dads and grandfathers.
It died out in the 70s, probably.
Yeah, like
around here, yes.
Papa would go out to like Broussard's Ranch over there on 73 when he was a kid, growing up. There was just no, like everybody knew each other, but he would go out there just hunt. There was no lock gates. There wasn't nothing.
Yep.
And then there's always shitheads. There's shitheads. There's always some kids that would shoot up tractors or something, back in the 50s, 60s, 70s.
Yep.
They start destroying property, so then they start locking gates. I'm like, you can't hunt here no more. So then
I tell you what I've noticed too is the trends, like you were saying earlier with the pintail, the types of birds. Like when I was a kid, nobody knew what a squealer was. Nobody knew what a whistling duck was. I killed 2 fulvus in 2002, and I had to fucking find a book and figure out what the hell they were.
Isn't that wild? Because my experience with them was never saw them in the marsh. Anytime I'm trying to hunt, never see them. Go to Nederland. They're in the park in Nederland, and then people are putting seed out in their driveway. They're in the neighborhoods, and I'd never, ever in my whole life seen them here, and now I got them flying over their house every night.
Yeah, there's a pile of them that live in Hampshire. And then another thing, and y'all are going to find this crazy, but in the late 90s, into the early 2000s, I used to consistently kill Canadas. Consistently.
I don't find it crazy given the time frame being before the time that I was hunting, because I've heard so many stories. Right?
Yeah, I mean, it was. I mean, never really any like graders, but a lot of cacklers and lessers.
I
You
used
know,
to hear of lessers and
and they were always with the speckle bellies. So when we were working speckle bellies, they'd come in with speckle bellies.
Oh, Jenkins them have like one of the most badass mounts. It's a speckle belly like lesser mix.
Yeah, it's cool.
And it's at the farmhouse.
And
it's like
another thing that when I remember when they first started showing up was Ross geese. Nobody ever saw Ross geese, and we killed one that had a neck collar on it, and I was like, "This is a baby lesser snow or something." Come back as a Ross. What the hell is a Ross goose? Banded in California.
Yeah,
and now they're pretty prolific.
Yeah, I think the most rare duck that we really shoot is probably cinnamon.
Yeah,
like probably. It's just not their flyway here. But like there's gonna be a couple of people that kill cinnamon teal throughout the year,
and then there's guys that kill sea ducks, in McFadden and places too. But that's, I mean, it's rare to shoot them in the marsh, but it's really not rare if you're like me and you run offshore. They're off the Gulf. They're in the Gulf. They're out there.
Ruddy ducks most rare. I want to say there's probably some local ruddy ducks.
Oh, there's ruddy ducks. A lot of ruddy ducks. Actually, there's quite a few ruddy ducks in this area. But I'm talking about like
longtails,
not longtails, but
like
surf scooters and stuff like that. Yeah,
scooters
you hear a couple of them killed every year. And if you're like me, I'm running offshore in January and February. They're out there.
Yeah,
they're big rafts of them floating out in the Gulf. Nobody just capitalizes on them.
Yeah, that's the most rare mount that I've seen around here. That was my uncle 20 years ago out in Anahuac, shot a longtail, an old squall, and I'm like, he's like, I was not really sure what the hell it was whenever it came in. Like, goddamn, he's like, they said when they flew over and like came back and like decoyed, it has a feather like this. Like, damn, that's a fucking pintail, but it's just a long tail.
Yeah.
I'm like, so then I had to do research whenever I first saw it. I was like, oh, that's a California,
Those are really cool birds, man. Those sea ducks are something else.
Yeah. They're really cool. I really want to go and do the New England sea duck deal.
What do you get there? You get your scoters, harlequin,
scooters.
Get your old squall.
What is that? Eiders.
Yeah.
Common eiders.
I don't know all the different
king eider, common eider.
They get king eiders over there?
I think so. Yeah.
No kidding. I thought you had to go like
way north. Yeah, I'm pretty sure there's a guy I follow.
They do eiders because I know a guy from South Carolina that shot eiders over there.
There's a guy in Maryland I follow, and I don't remember his name, but he's got a huge following on Instagram, and he's got the world's biggest duck boat, and it is a monstrosity thing that he brings out in the Gulf off Ocean City and shoots. The Gulf, the Atlantic, and shoots sea ducks. And some of his videos are just, it looks like a blast.
It's wild like a good time, the way that you can hunt sea ducks. Just the boxy looking spreads and the real grid line looking. You're trolling. It's like you would look at something like that and think, how in the world are you going to decoy birds to that? And they just do it.
Yep.
Did you see that post? I don't remember where it was. I saw it like yesterday, the day before, somewhere up like on the northeast. Maybe it was like a redhead congregation coming south.
Yeah.
Did you see that?
Yeah, it was like 250,000 birds in one raft. Yeah,
dude, insane amount of redheads.
Have you ever been down the middle coast and seen the redheads down there? Absolutely unbelievable. It is. That is the one place that if y'all said, hey, I want to go duck hunting, I would say, let's go middle coast. And let's go tomorrow.
What are you referring to as the middle coast?
Like Matagorda to Port Aransas.
Okay.
PA. That's where I shot my first redhead, was down there.
Yeah.
Where's Port Mansfield at?
Port Mansfield south of Port Aransas. It's so you have Port Aransas, Mustang Island, and then you have Port Mansfield, South Padre Island, and then Brownsville. So it's down there, kind of between the two. And there's supposedly good duck hunting there. I've never messed with it, but
yeah, I got a buddy that's down there in Port Mansfield right now, and the way he explained it, in his years past, they do a yearly trip down there, and they shoot a lot of redheads and pintail.
Yeah,
redheads and pintails, like their two main species.
I've done it a lot, and I've actually got decoy spread for it. I just haven't done it in several years, but we shoot a lot of pintail, a lot of widgeon, a lot of redheads, and a lot of buffleheads.
Yeah, buffleheads are very. That's the first time I hunted down in Kingsville, down in PA, that we did a hunt where I literally did not have the same duck in a whole hunt.
Yeah.
We had mottle, both teal, pintail, a random greenhead out of nowhere, a bufflehead, red, a canvas. Like it was just. I was like, I've never shot this variety of
pack,
birds.
baby.
I should, like, if I would have had money, I would have just got that as a dead mount, and people would be like, that's not real.
And that's the cool thing about that. I mean, that's when I said redhead, pintail, bufflehead, and widgeon. That's the mainstay. I've killed gadwall. I've killed teal. I've killed I killed a banded snow goose on the bay. One time flew over, started hollering at him because I'm from Southeast Texas. Here he comes, and shot him, and he was banded. We've killed mallards. We've killed mottle ducks, obviously. I mean, squealers. I mean,
yeah.
But the mainstay are your widgeon, your pintail, your redhead, and your buffles.
Yeah. And surprisingly, to me, the bufflehead is the toughest fucking little bird.
Oh, my God.
Like, people were like, dude, I'm like, dude.
We all have a bufflehead story, I imagine.
Oh.
Yeah, I have.
No doubt.
The one bufflehead that I killed, the one that's mounted in the shop right now, he was the lead bird, and he was on my side. I shot him dead, moved on to the next one. You know, dog starts getting out there and picking up birds. I think we shot 4 out of the group, and my bufflehead drake is still over here swimming. So I reloaded my shotgun, had 3 shells. Boom, still swimming. Boom, still swimming. Boom, I shot him 3 more times. He's still going. I mean, he's not but 25 to 30 yards from me. Still swimming. And so I hollered to the other guys, hey, y'all shoot that bird. And they're 10 feet to my left, bunched up right there. So maybe 30, 35 yards from them. So they each shoot him 3 times. I reload again. I shoot him 2 more times before the dog gets close, and I let the dog work. That summit just disappeared, gone, still alive, swam off, disappeared. The next day we were leaving to come home. We were up north. We were in Kansas, I believe. And we're running out, and I'm thinking, man, it just wasn't in the cards for me to shoot a bufflehead. I had 3 opportunities, just didn't work out. And Connor's running the boat, and he just whips it around, and he's like, Matt. I'm like, what? He turns around, he's, look. There's little pink feet sticking up out of the ice. And we pull up there, and it's that fucking bufflehead drake. It's right where he swam off, the day before, and it froze over that night, and he got stuck right there and just froze into the ice. I brought him home, and he's hanging on the wall. Tough little bastard.
My story's almost similar, very similar. They're just tough. They're
tough
very
tough bastards,
birds.
man.
I'm just talking. Yes, tough like that, but tough like I've cleaned 20 different species of birds. To me, that's the toughest fucking skin.
Oh yeah, you talking about meat wise.
I'm talking like getting the skin off of a like breast of bufflehead.
Yep.
I would rather
divers.
I would honestly breast a greater Canada before a buffalo.
Yeah,
divers are tough, man.
It's just they're a different breed.
But I like that Middle Coast hunting because them birds are either coming or they're not. I mean, you can see a group of birds and they're either coming or they're not. There's no calling at them. They're either in it to win it or they're gonna move. They're just gonna fly past you.
They're balls deep, or they.
Yeah, that's it. And I mean, them redheads get nasty, dirty in the decoys, like just crazy. And I like it because you can sleep in and get in the spot at noon and hunt all afternoon, and it ain't gonna be any different than waking up and going at daylight.
Yeah, they're just doing it down the coast.
I noticed that just even in our area. I've never hunted that way, but like I watch birds raft up off of Crystal Beach, out just outside the surf.
Yep.
Like afternoon, I'm watching birds fly around, and I'm kind of gets the gears turning, for a guy like me who's never hunted that way. I'm like, what the hell are they doing out there?
Oh,
They're
man,
just moving.
I do a lot of wade fishing for trout during the winter, and you run across Sabine Lake or East Bay in January and February, and it's like, holy shit, where are these birds?
Yeah, and it's crazy, and it might be any kind of, but like the biggest ball of teal I've probably ever seen was like in January with Doug wade fishing.
Yep.
And he's like, that's fucking teal. And they come by a pack of like 300, just flying around. I'm like, what the fuck are they doing out here?
They know where it's safe.
Just chilling.
Safe, yeah.
Like
there's nothing.
Unless they hit me with a corky, then they ain't gonna.
Yeah.
Nothing farther south for them to go and find. No. They're just out there and
Mexico.
They're
coming back up.
Yeah, go drink pina coladas.
They're gonna fly a long way.
Migrators.
But yeah, no. So Ryan, 25th to the 29th, Snapper Slapper Lures will be in NRG Stadium.
Yep. We'll be there right next to y'all.
Bayou Dragons will be in attendance.
I'm looking forward to that.
That's going to be a fun one, man.
Well, it was 151 and 152, right?
Yeah.
Or 149 or 150 and 151.
We'll have to check that.
I said 150 first, so
Okay,
it should be 150 and 151.
Yep. Perfect.
I haven't looked at the email to see, but the lady that you told me, Lynette, I messaged her and she was like, 151 and 152 are open and 145, which was in front of you.
Yeah.
I was like, I would like this order, and she.
I'm interested to see the crowd and the vendors that come out to that.
Did you look at the layout?
No, I haven't.
It's
I
a
haven't
pretty
looked at the
dope ass layout. Like how.
We're right in the middle. We're like right in the game. I mean, you couldn't get any deeper in the middle of it than what we got.
And
that's good though. I noticed just not even. This is not specific to the show that I was at. I think it's just human nature. They walk in and they dive right in.
Yeah.
It's like, some people will like start from one side. Like if they come in on the right side, they're going to start all the way on the right and work their way back to the left. But most people, I was just sat there and watched them, and I was just trying to like make my own little trend as to what everybody was doing for the following year where I wanted to be, because we were way off in the back in the corner. Didn't get a whole ton of traffic, but yeah, everybody was diving right in. I was like, man, I want to be right there in the middle.
I was wrapping it up. I didn't look at the time though at the end, but
but yeah, that was yeah, I'm definitely excited for Houston. I'll be able to be there for the final 3 days of the show, and
well, that's the main three.
Kinda
That's the
got
Friday,
some,
Saturday, Sunday. So
yeah,
the first couple of days are set up, and then kind of figuring out
Wednesday, Thursday are open to the public, and that's gonna be. I mean, it's gonna be decent, but I don't think it's gonna be very good till after.
Yeah, I don't think
afternoon, evening, and then Friday, Saturday, Sunday is gonna be when the main crowds come. But
yeah,
Houston's a fun show though. Yeah. Just that area,
and you're gonna start doing that more this year with having your own.
I mean, we're gonna do the fishing show in March. It's usually in March, which is another good one. It's gonna be at downtown at the George R. Brown, which is always a fun place. That
one's fun too because you've got all your restaurants and bars right there too. You can head to afterwards.
Yeah, and then we're gonna.
There's another boat show or what?
Man, there's a open market in Galveston that we might hit, and then there's Lake Charles Boat Show is always decent. But I'm really kind of eyeing ICAST.
That's,
I mean,
I've been.
We fall in the category, and
Ben Floyd can definitely point us that way.
Well, he and I were talking today about it. He goes, "You gonna do ICAST? I think you should." And I was like, I'd love to, but logistically and everything, he goes, "I will help you with whatever you need."
Yeah, that's what he told us too.
It is the world's largest fishing show.
Yeah, and it's in Miami.
Miami, I think.
Miami, Florida,
or Lauderdale. I don't know.
Yeah. I think there's actually two ICAST. Like I think there's
East Coast and West Coast.
Yeah, East Coast, but that's a huge
it's
one.
giant deal.
Like if we wanted to get into it, we need to start like really look into it because that's a big one.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm my big thing is retail stores. Get back into retail stores. We're doing Fish Tackle Unlimited. We're doing Serious Tackle, Sea Pony and Winnie. Looking at Academy and Bucky's and
maybe we can make a Bayou Dragon snapper slapper and sell.
Maybe
online.
so. I mean, I'm on Amazon. That's that's what.
If we ever get a storefront, you're gonna be in there for sure.
That's another thing too. We were talking about the other day is do we want to go ahead and follow in the Sure Shot Game Calls deal and have a storefront / shipping warehouse in Beaumont, or what do we want to do? That's kind of what I'm looking at now is. I have a warehouse. I'm off the beaten path. I don't know if I want to do storefront sales.
Yeah, we're looking for another warehouse too. So if that's something you want to talk about, which we've talked about in the past,
yeah,
definitely need to find something because Tanner's place has done good, but we're just
outgrowing it, man.
We're outgrowing it.
I have a huge warehouse at my office.
I know. I know a guy.
It's not air conditioned though.
It's gonna be ridiculously large.
Our shit's not air conditioned right now.
We're outgrowing what we've got now. We're gonna go into something extremely large and have like 2 little boxes.
But I mean, we've only been doing this for honestly a year,
pretty much.
Like legally, like I'm saying, like
we
had the LLC for a year, so we've only had a year of like being able to.
We've been on the black market before then.
The crazy thing for me about Snapper Slapper is I'm maybe 6 months into this deal now, and we are literally outgrowing what we have now warehouse-wise. We're moving to a bigger warehouse. But the amount of sales that we have going on and the amount of sales we have going on in random, like we sold to Australia the other day on Amazon, like
Join the club.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm like,
weird.
I'm like, what? Okay.
No, it
Well,
is weird.
it's
I sold
different
I sold
for
some
us
hats the other
because
day to Australia. It's like
We're selling hats and shirts, but
Yeah.
like you're selling
baits.
You know, baits
Yeah.
like not you have a
They're
broad
called snapper
target,
slapper,
but
they-
you have a broad. You know, you don't have like a specific target species, but you know, it is a little bit different. You know,
They have snapper in Australia, huh?
Oh, yeah, I'm sure they do. They got all kinds of reef fish in
I mean,
Australia.
I figured it'll work.
But the scope for selling a bait as opposed to selling a hat
Yeah,
that
for
somebody
sure.
can put on their head is going to be smaller. You know what I mean? That's
True and not true. I mean, like we
Yeah.
were saying, I'll fish. I'm going to get video of me this year catching white bass on a snapper slapper.
yeah.
Hey, I'll film it. Let's go.
Like white bass, I guarantee I can catch it in April. I can catch a black bass on a snapper slapper. And
You don't even need me to film anymore, man. You're the freaking GoPro guru.
Oh boy,
that
we
is,
need to do some wahoo.
Yeah,
fish
I
on the
gotta be
GoPro.
careful, man. I gotta be careful. I'm gonna start losing
telling
filming
you,
opportunities to Porter. He's getting good with that GoPro.
the first time you go out, I'm going. I'm going. I don't care if you don't let me go. I'm going to be on the boat, and you're gonna be like, "What the fuck? Where'd he come from?"
I don't even want to look at my phone forecast right now because I'm probably going to be sick to my stomach that I have to work tomorrow.
Man.
Honestly, if you did just say, "Let's go,"
It's still doable. What time is it? It's
it's
we don't have to be in the water till 2.
yeah, I would have another glass, and then to be like,
I don't
and this
feel
will come out
good.
after I'm already off of work. So I'm good.
Yeah, it'll be fine.
Yeah.
But like, Porter just called in randomly.
Yeah, it's that time of year, man, and God, it's my favorite time of year when it comes to fishing. I mean, I love blue marlin. Don't get me wrong, but there's something about crushing the wahoo that just gets me going.
No, it's my favorite thing to do with y'all for sure. I've done all that stuff with y'all, and wahoo is definitely my favorite. It's way more.
Oh, and it happens. It happens.
Yeah, like I've never had a 60+ day or nothing like y'all have, but I've been in a boat. We've caught 30 wahoo, and it's like
Yeah,
it is exhausting. It's fun. You're just boozing the whole time, just fucking grinding
Mhm.
the whole time. It's not as articulate.
Yeah.
You know, like there is an art to it. You've mastered that art, but the blue marlin, you know, it's a lot. Like, and I thought we had a great year this past year.
There's a lot more finesse to the blue marlin.
Yeah, the wahoo,
I have that.
Yeah.
that wahoo, you're throwing shit out. You get the right speed, and if they're fucking wanting it, it's on.
It's on.
I mean, it's to the point now where I can look at my bottom machine and I go, get ready. And then about 10 seconds later, boop, 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 zzz, 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 zzz. Yeah.
God, I just really want some meat. I just
Man, hey, I'll tell you what. I'm gonna put in an order now. If y'all
Oh, dude.
are catching like you say you're catching, I'm gonna go ahead and
You can have all you want. And I don't
put in my ticket.
particularly like to freeze it. I just give it to my friends. And I like it fresh.
So it gets.
It doesn't get bad.
No, I was saying.
no.
So
I made it
you
fresh.
give
I
it
made
away.
it frozen.
But I fish so
But-
much for them and catch so many of them that I'm just why I'd give my friends what they can have and freeze and do whatever they want to with it, and I'm gonna have me about 2 big loins, and I'm gonna chop on those for 3 or 4 days after I catch them,
So
and
that they get eaten pretty
yeah,
quick.
Yeah, and you call it good. And I might do sashimi one day, and then make rolls the next day, and do seared the next
Dude,
day. You know?
we are definitely. We've been talking about it. We're gonna start doing it. The Bayou Dragon, like cooking
Oh, yeah.
different
Do it, catch,
wild
clean,
game
cook.
and fish, and I want to come over.
Did
and
you see my pastelaya the other day?
Yes, dude. Shut up. I even said that on the last podcast. I was like, Ryan is. It's retarded how like
Perfect opportunity in the new year to
Yeah.
bring that in.
We should.
Yeah.
It'd be fun. It would be fun. It would really be fun. I would enjoy the shit out of it. I love to cook.
we just film you cook.
I am
If I get to eat,
self-taught
I don't
on
give
this
a
deal.
Fuck.
And I am always trying new shit, like trying to just stretch
And
myself.
It
in the
pisses me
kitchen.
off because for the last 2 years, you just send me. It don't matter if it's a Gemsbach, if it's a fucking elk, if it's a wahoo or whatever it is. You're like, you just send me your dinner. Like
Yeah.
after it's made, you send it to me, and that's it. Won't even say nothing to it. Just send me that. I'm like he just made professional sushi rolls. Like,
dude, I did that pastelaia after I did the boil for New Year's, and Brittany walks in and she's like, "Where'd you get this recipe?" And I was like, "I didn't get a recipe." She's like, "What do you mean?" I said, "I just made this shit up on the fly. I know how to make a pastelaia, and I know what it takes to make the sauce for a pastelaia, so I just rolled with it." And she's like, "No shit." Yeah, I just threw shit.
Yeah, we're gonna do a full blown thing. You know,
there'll be multiple.
And
We gotta.
Oh yeah, Ryan makes fresh fucking wahoo rolls for us today, and
Yeah,
we
it'll
sit
be a
there
whole.
and-
We'll put a whole new series into the channel. It'll be Chef Ryan.
Well, dude, it's not just me. I mean, you could reach out to Holly. I'm sure she'd be happy to.
She actually has the term chef in front of her name.
Yeah, I'm not by no means have
we
chef
can.
in front
and
of my name.
I've talked to I've messaged the Uncle Cracker dude, and we've messaged back and forth, and I'm like, it didn't link up this year, but also there's just been a bunch of shit going on. But I was like, what I wanted to do was bring him on a duck hunt, shoot some birds, and then like
do the
whole thing. Be like,
I think he's to the point now that he's gonna want some compensation, probably.
I don't know.
I don't know. I mean,
Yeah,
I
don't
do.
know.
I do
He
enjoy.
stays busy.
Yeah,
Bro, he does. But I have seen like every about 5 or 6 videos, he'll have a Bayou Dragon hat on. I'm like,
Nice.
there we go.
Heck yeah, man.
There
That's
we
awesome.
fucking go.
I think we're like minded, man. I think, and I'm not saying anything definitive, but I think that'd be, I think you would look at guys like us and be like, hey, man,
Hell
these
yeah.
dudes are like me.
Especially if we
Just
take
go
him,
hang out
I
for a
mean,
weekend,
we take him on a hunting or fishing trip free of charge.
Shit, me and him have a lot in common already. He was a cop. I was a cop.
Yeah.
You know that? You knew he was
Yeah.
a state trooper, huh?
Yes,
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
I
I
know
mean,
that
he
whole-
seems like a cool ass dude to hang out with. Hell, we ought to do like a snapper deal or something.
Dude, that would be great.
That'd be
Be like,
dope.
you ever cook snapper? He'd
Yeah.
probably be like, yeah. And then
I
do
bet
a.
you that dude, man, could just cook whatever.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I just want to see him with that mullet ass hair and then fucking just going at it.
That's fun. That'd be fun.
But there's a lot of stuff we're going to do this 2023. We've been linking up with a bunch of people. There's some new companies that we're going to be working with, and some ones that are way bigger than us that are given the opportunity to let us kind of represent for them. So it's really there's a lot of cool stuff coming this year.
Yeah, I'm excited about it, man. I'm really excited about it. And again, 2022 was a great year. I want to thank everybody, all of our viewers, all our supporters, for supporting us, man, for allowing us to get to where we're at right now, man. It's all thanks to you guys. So if you're out there watching, from the bottom of our hearts, mine, Ryan's, and Porter's, and Mitch, and Tanner, and everybody that's involved in this, man, we really appreciate you guys. And y'all stick with us for 2023, man. It's going to be fun. There's going to be some new shit, new adventures, more to come.
Yeah.
It's exciting. It's going to be a lot of fun.
It's been really fun hanging out with y'all and getting to do these podcasts with y'all. I think this is number 4 now for me. So
Yeah.
I've enjoyed every one of them. And,
Yeah, and there's plenty
You know,
more to come.
planning the hunts and going and,
Oh, yeah.
and doing all that, and our fishing and everything else we've done in the last year. So
Yeah, but just wait. This year's gonna be a lot more. I think you're kind of liking the us going and getting the documentation.
yeah,
You do your thing. We'll film it.
Yeah, though that video of that marlin jumping with you, and you got that. Oh God, dude! And you're filming. It's so
Badass.
awesome. I
That was
mean,
cool. I've showed that to a lot of people.
and
That's
was
one of my most proud little sequences. Like the
Yeah.
whole video in and of itself is really long, but that one sequence just makes it so worth it.
And for me, as much as money as we put into that fishing, not to properly document it, it's almost a crime.
Yeah.
It really is. I mean, it's just the whole,
Yeah.
everything about it, and it's so. Those fish are just they deserve all the praise and video that you can get of them.
Yeah, no, that's my favorite thing about this is we get to this is what we love. I just want to share it.
Yeah,
And
no doubt.
these are things that I love to do. These are fish or birds or deer or anything that we're harvesting or documenting. It's like I want other people to see this.
We'll be sure to do a Wahoo video on the contender this year, because
Oh.
that will be epic.
Oh, that would be epic. If it's on, it's going to be.
Yeah.
Talk about a fast-paced video. You can do 45 minutes, Matt, and it'll be reeling in wahoo the whole time.
Yeah, I mean, it's unreal. Yeah.
We'll have to break it up. Like,
That'd be dope, man. Excited about that.
So, but anyway, man, Ryan, I'm not gonna say thank you for being a guest because you're not even a guest no more.
Thanks for
basically, thanks
for coming in clutch and being our third man.
Yeah, no
We
worries.
lost Tanner this evening, but
the perks of living about a mile down the road.
No, I enjoy that.
I'll just always be like, it's like, man, we need somebody else. Hey, what's Ryan doing?
Yeah, hey, I'm usually around.
Hey, Ryan, you want a free meal and some whiskey?
Mm-hmm.
Hell yeah. I know you bought this whiskey, which is fantastic.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. YouTube.com/Bayou Dragons if you guys want to tune in. Glad you guys got to come out. I got to serve y'all some Bronchiosaurus steaks, T-bones, and good meal. But anyways, guys, it's been a good one. Thank y'all for stopping by, and we'll see y'all on the next one.
Hell yeah.
Yep.